Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Opinions from the Armchair. I am Ashley Miller, the reason why the hair wax industry is booming. In this episode, it will be my first ever film review, or even review of any kind. And for my subject, I have chosen the 2016 version of Dad's Army the movie. For those of you who don't know, Dad's Army is a cult classic British sitcom which debuted in 1968.
The armed escort can't get here before morning, so we've got to keep these chaps all night.
Well, in that case, we really better chop their buttons off. No.
Set during World War II in the small town of Warmington-on-Sea, it follows the adventures, or rather misadventures, of the town's Home Guard unit as they stumble and bumble along through the war despite the lack of firepower or brainpower.
I am making notes, Captain. And your name will go on the list. And when we win the war, you will be brought to account.
While you work, Hitler is at work. He's half army, so's his army whistle while you...
Your name will also go on the list. What is it?
Don't tell him, Pike.
Pike.
Then, in 1971, the show was given a full-length feature film, a crowning glory for any TV show. I am a big fan of the show, and I was ambivalent when I heard a new film was being made.
Wilson, do something! I'm doing an article on the Home Guard. You come highly recommended.
Godfrey, look like you're on a cruise to the South Sea.
Thank you so much, sir.
On the one hand, this could be a chance for Mannering and his boys to do something really glorious and important for the war effort. But, on the other hand, it's been my experience that a movie based on a TV show is rarely any good. They simply don't put in enough effort. It seems to me they assume that since the show was so well liked, that fans will love it no matter what it's like, so they don't bother making it a good film. And like celebrities who think that no one will find out about their drug habit, it's something that's very presumptuous and a mistake you think people had learned from by now. I mean, just look at films like Mr. Magoo, Top Cat, Sergeant Bilko. That guy doesn't look anything like Phil Silvers. Normally I'd overlook something like this, but how much effort would it have taken to give this guy a dye job and a pair of fake glasses? None! Dad's Army 2016 is the first installment of the show since the series finale, and ironically, going to see it was like a scene from the last episode. We are shown a beautiful, sumptuous cake, but when we go to partake, we find there is almost nothing to it.
And there is a war on, you know.
So, what specifically is wrong with the film? Well, it starts out like a classic spy movie with MI5 agents chasing a Nazi spy with information on British coastal defences. Information that would allow the Germans to invade Britain directly. They fail to stop him from attaching it to a carrier pigeon and releasing it. Fortunately, said pigeon gets shot down over Warmington-on-Sea and sold to Sergeant Wilson, who takes it home to pluck it, finds the message canister but doesn't know what it is and puts it on his sideboard. But then this entire plot point drops as fast as that pigeon. It does absolutely nothing for the story from then on. I mean, given its importance in the opening, we all assumed that this would be the main focus of the story. But you could have left it out altogether and the film would have gone exactly the same way. Scott Evil added more to his films than this. The rest of the film drags on tediously with long sections that do nothing for the movie, or help to move the story along, and the jokes are so rare that you'd think they are on ration. What's more, the writers break the taboo of showing us the mysterious Mrs. Mannering. But at least they showed her as the terrifying, frosty frumpet we all assumed she was. And yes, there's a battle at the end where the Warmington-on-Sea platoon do something heroic and important, But again, it's not as good as it could have been, which is a polite way of describing the film as a whole. So, instead of a glorious return to current media, we are left with one of those films that makes us wonder, has the writer actually seen the show? I was genuinely surprised when I found out it had been made by a British production company, because A, it was exactly the sort of half-assed, fan-extorting thing that sadly is typical of the formulaic film factory that is Hollywood, and B, I assume that we British made more of an effort in our media, especially if it's a British institution. So on the whole, this really was a war film in the sense that it dropped a great big bomb. Or should I say the bomb was a dud? No, wait, I've got it. We wanted a 21-gun salute and all we got was a misfire. Well, that was my first ever movie review. Tune in next time for more Opinions from the Armchair.